see my screen, right? Everyone can see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, then great. So the topic which we started last day was variables. So we saw some of the sample program about variables, like how to define local variable and print the value of that. So if you can remember, we saw that, right? No, not this program. I think there was different program, right? Automation big disk. Here, this is your batch. Day 1 we have seen variable demo. So different type of variable we have created and we have tried to print the value. So now we will take it further, that there are different kind of variable in Java which you will be knowing. One is local variable, one is static variable, and one is instance variable. So one by one I will try to explain everything. Local variables we have already seen. Basically local variables what we are creating in the main method. So that is called local variables. Means there is no need to create any object and other things. We just write here and we can access here. Okay. One more is there, means suppose that this is a main method and we have other methods and then the some variable is there. So that example I can show you like after some time, because like you are not familiar with the methods. But just think that this is main method and inside main method you are defining some variables. So the scope of variable is only inside this method. So what will happen here? The variables which we have declared here, initialized here, the scope of this variable is up to, you can see this curly bracket and this curly bracket. So inside this is available, but after this it won't be available anymore. So that is why it is called the local variable. So which is defined somewhere inside the method. So that's why we are calling it a local variable. Okay. So this is one thing. Second thing is static variable. So what is a static variable? So let me design one class, then I can show you a static variable. New class. So first I am going for a class and demo static variable, and you can check this because we have a main program as well here. It is saying that outside of the main is called the class area. This area is like class area. This is method area, this is the main method area, and after this also there is a method area. So if you have to design a static variable, so what you have to put? You have to take this keyword static. Okay? Then you can write int, something like that. Then the variable name, like I am taking var1 is equal to, say that 500 I have taken. So static variables rules are that it should be in the class area, not in the method. Means this is a method. You cannot design any static things inside a method. The static things must be the part of the class. Okay. So if this is a class, so this is the class area. It means this curly bracket and this curly bracket is the class area. So inside that, anything you can design it as static. Like this is var1. I'm taking like a static into what you call it, string as well. Static S capital string name equal to hello, and then just put a semicolon, should be okay. Now you can see here that I have two static variables. To use the value of these static variables, what you have to do, you just need to call the static variables with class name and then dot and then the variable member name. Okay, so this is my class name. Suppose that this is area where I have to write the code. I will just go s out, and inside this method first I will take this class name. So this is my class, and then I will put a dot. If you put a dot, then it will show you that what are the options available you can use. So you can see that name is there, where one is there. You can ignore these two as of now, means this is like next level thing, but you have to see that these things are available for you, name and variable a. So if I want to print the value, so I can take the class name dot member name. So this is the way of accessing the static members. Okay, now second is name already taken, then variable I want to take it. So I will just copy and paste it. Next line. And then what I will do, I will take var1. Basically it is also available when once you put here dot. So var1 is there, you come here and hit enter. So this is one way you can access it. Just right click and run Java application. You can see here I am able to print. So this is one way. Second way is that this is a standard way. It means anywhere in the project, if you want to access, you can access it like this. And you can put one more thing for now, but later on I will tell you. For data member, you don't need to use this access modifier. This is just for outside. If I want to use anywhere in the project, then I can put it public, then I can use it anywhere without any restriction. Second thing is that instead of this, you can write it in a different way. Why it is so? Because this is a static member inside the same class. This is a static method inside the same class. So inside of calling the class name, you don't need that. Okay. So let me copy this and I will put it like this. I can just access like this. Reason there is no difference between these two outputs, but the reason why it is allowed, see, it's considered as a local thing. Local things means like I don't need the class for accessing. This is available here, this is also available here, and this main method is also available here locally. So for local things, you don't need to write like this. Okay, even this is also okay. But if you are accessing somewhere else, then you have to write in this. So both way I will show you. Just take one example. Right click and run as Java application. You can see here the output, there is no difference. And one more way I will show you, that consider that this is one class and the main method is not here. It means I have designed something here, but I will use it in a different way. Then how to use that? So let me comment this part. Consider that this is not here. So now once you go there and just right click, you won't see it is a Java program. The program is gone already, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm creating a separate class. The design part will be somewhere else and the implementation part will be somewhere else. Okay. So I'm just copying it and just pasting it, and I will put a name called implementation, IMPL, so that I can understand that what is going on. Okay, so let me click OK. So once I clicked OK, you see here this file is created, and here I will go and make the changes. Consider that I have not written anything. It's just a class with two members, static members, and I want to access it outside of the class. Okay, so first thing is saying that just make it a public. Sorry, this members I have to make it as a public, and second place in a different class, what I have to do, you see here I am getting a compilation error because now this is something different and this is not considered as a local member. One thing is a separate place, second thing is at separate place. So this is the standard way of writing, you see here. One was this way, means everything under same file, but now I have two different files. One place I have just designed it, second place I just want to use it within the main method. You can have a close look. There is only main method over here, nothing else is there. You see, this is the class and this is the main method. So main method, I am just trying to access these two variables. Okay, so you can see here I am able to write like this: class name dot variable name, class name dot variable name. So this is the beauty here in Java. You can design a class somewhere else and you can use n number of times, means just design once and use many times. Okay, like that. If I run this, you can see it's allowed. You will get the output like this. So this is also one way, but other things about a static I will come back. That if you understand instance variable, then you will have to make some difference between what is instance variable and what is static variable. Okay, so for instance variable you need to learn how to create the object of any class. So that process is called instantiation. The purpose of designing class is that you need to learn that what is instantiation. Okay, you have to learn how to create the object of that class and then use the instance variable. So you have already seen a static variable demo, and now I will copy this file and I will paste it here. So instead of a static I will write instance. Naming convention you can choose, up to you how you want. So I am just giving a demo instance variable. Okay, so now my file is created, demo instance variable. I will come here and I will remove the static keyword over here. So first I will show you that inside this file only I am using that, but later on I will segregate it in a separate. So let me write here main method. So what you have to do, just type main control space bar. So it will give you the main method, because without main method your program won't be there, right? So now this file is a design part and main method is also there. Can you see here, if I want to use this var1 printing like that, so I cannot directly use it. S out, although this is locally present, but this is static and this is non-static. So non-static things will be considered as instance. Okay, instance variables. So these two examples are for instance variables. Let me comment it out. Instance variables. Both are instance variable because there is no static keyword. So if you don't put any static keyword, so it will become instance variable. If you put something inside the method, then it will become the local variable, and if you put a static, then it will become the static variable. So this is the only difference. And to use these variables, if you try to access just directly, you can see here it's not allowed. I'm getting a compilation error, and the logic is that the message is coming cannot make a static reference to non-static field. Means this is static method and you are trying to access non-static things, so it's not allowed. Means normally it's not allowed in this way, so you have to do something, then it will be allowed. So let me show you what you have to do. See, there is a process of creating an object in Java. So how to do that? Just learn the syntax. The data type. So data type is class data type. The name of the data type. So I'm going to create obj, then equal to, then new, and the data type same again. Then parenthesis open and close, and just put semicolon. This process is called instantiation. See, object is created here by a new keyword and it is created in heap memory. There is a memory in Java and that is called like heap memory. So heap memory holds the object data type and this is the reference. Okay, this is we called reference and this is the data type. So this will be created in a stack memory area. So this is the stack part and this is the heap part. You just try to understand that how it will behave like that. So reference will go there in the stack memory area and the object will be created in heap memory area. So instantiation is done. And one more thing, there is no rule for number of instantiation, means you can have any number of instantiation. And once your object is created, so take this object, take this reference name obj, it is pointing to one object and it is inside somewhere in the memory, but to access that object I will use this reference. And here I want to just show you that one thing concept, because that is very important concept. So right click, edit, I'm opening it. You can see here, suppose that you design some class, right, like this, and you have created one obj1 or obj2, you have created like this. This is obj2 and this is obj1 considered. So there are no rules, as I told you. So you can have any number of objects for a particular class. So if that class is having without a static keyword, you can see here these are two data members and one is a static data member. So what it will happen, you can see this example I have created here, written like this. So I have created two objects, obj and obj1. So what it will do, for obj there will be x, local x, local y, but this is the static one. So static is not the instance member, so it will not be the part of instance member, but they can access it. Access y allowed, but it always be considered as a member of class. Okay, and this is something main method. So method is there. So show method is just instance method, so it will also go. So you can see here show method is there, show method is there. So every instance will have a local copy of instance variable. Okay, so whatever you have designed, that is called like a template kind of thing, a model, and whenever the object is created, so it will become like that. So consider that in the real world human is one object. So every human once it is created, so it will be having some common property. So that is like considered as the instance variables, but every human will have their own copy, right? So same like different animals you can take, like elephant. So elephant will have their own copy. Some every elephant will be having those basic properties. So that's why like it's called a kind of model, and whenever the object are being created, it will be having their similar kind of things. So it's local here, right? But one thing is like common thing is static members are always class members. So what it will do, it will not be a local part, but it will be a common thing means this also can access and this also can access. So it will always access the updated copy of that variable. If this instance has changed, so it will be impacting here. Okay, and when this instance is trying to access, so it will have the updated copy. Okay, because this is not present locally, but if this x is changed, so there is no impact on this x. If this y is changed, so there is no impact on this y. So this is something called local copy of that. Means instance is having their individual local copy. So now if you understand this concept, so I will try to explain here. You see here I have just created one object, and if you see this picture, how I have created the object, the data type, the name of that reference, then equal to new the data type, and parenthesis open and close. Same way you can have n number of creation of objects, it's up to you. You can see here I have created one just object. This is called instantiation or object creation. So this part is object and this is reference, just remember this, and this is data type. It means the object which you are creating, which object is of which data type. So I am saying that it's user defined data type, because this data type was not present in Java in the by default. I have created it. Now coming here, if I want to access the variable 1, so how I can access? So as of now, I'm getting a compilation error. So what you have to do, you come here, just type this name obj and then dot, and now you can see the var1 is present. So I am trying to print the value, and same like for a string also I will try to print. So the difference is a static member you don't need to create object, but for instance member like class, this is non-static, so this becomes instance variable. To access the instance variable, you have to create the object first and the via reference, and then you put a dot, and then you can access those members inside your main program. Okay, so this is just for your information. So after writing, if I have to format, then I am doing a select all, control A, then control shift F in Eclipse. Basically it is for formatting. So it formatted, and if I run this program, you can see here I am able to access the value. But more concept I would like to give you. I am just copying one more object creating. So this time I am giving obj1 name, and if I want to print this value, so this time I have to use obj1 dot, rest of the things will be same. Can see here, just focus here this part, then you will understand. H out, just to separate the output I have given this. This is the way of putting dot 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 or whatever the character you want to print. If I run this program, you see here what I am trying to do. This was obj and this is obj1. So now we have two different objects in the memory, and both having their own copy of var1 and name. You can see here, as of now initial value it is just same, but let me change it, then I will show you. Can you see here obj dot var1 I'm taking here, and I want to change the value, say that this value I am taking a 1000, and this variable I am taking as a 2000. And now I want to print the both value. So let me first put this, then I will first print this, that what is the updated value, and then again I am printing this via obj1, and if I run this, you see here both having different value. Why so? Because I updated the local values, okay, means instance value. So for first instance it is 1000, for second instance it is 2000. But when I am creating the object, by default I am initializing with 500 and hello. So again if you try to create a new object, you see here I am trying to create a new object again. So object I am this time having obj2, and if I want to print the value of obj dot 2 dot var1, so what will happen once line number 32 will execute, 34 will execute, so it will go there and it will have a new copy, new instance, but again the new instance var1 and name will be there, which will be having 500 and hello value. So if you print after this line number 34, you will get this initial value, and you see here already I change it, so this is having their own copy. So obj1, obj1 and obj2, there are three different objects as of now present in the memory till your program is running. So let me run this and show you the value, and if you have any doubt regarding this, you can discuss. You see here how the output I am getting. So this is the updated value which I have just changed here in line number 26 and line number 27. But after that, once I created again new object, it is saying the initial value is 500 and hello. So this is the point to understand. This is called the instance variable. It will always have their own copy. Now one more thing. Consider that I have the mixture, instance and static in the same class. So I am giving here public int var2 equal to 5000, but I am going to make it a static. So I will copy this. So before data type you can put like this. You can also write like that, a static public, that is also okay. So now you see here I have a variable 2. So for what do you call it, for object 1, if I want to print it, I can print it, but that is not a good practice, I told you, because this is a static thing. So a static thing you don't need to call via object, you just always call via class name. But in Java with warnings it's allowed. You can be confused that oh, it's an instance variable. Like suppose that I have taken obj. So this is the reference here. If you put here dot, you can see here name is there, var1 is there, and var2 is also there. So people get confused here. Oh, maybe this is allowed. So I'm trying to access a static variable via reference object, but actually it's not suggestible to use via object reference. You see here I'm getting a warning. So it is saying that it is static, although this is not compilation error, your program will run, but it's saying that it's not the right way. It's just giving you warning. You are doing a incorrect way of accessing the static variables. So if I run this, I won't be having any problem. You see here, I'm getting a 5000 over here, right? This is one thing. Second way is just you can write like this. Since it is static, you already know how to access it. So how it is allowed? Line number 21 and line number 22. You see here both the output will be same. Third way, I already told you, because it is static. So best practice is just name of the class and then a dot and then the member name. It is globally acceptable. So line number 21, line number 22, 23, all will give the same output. Okay, it's just a way of writing, but it's incorrect way of writing, because I am trying to access via instance variable. So object or static things can be accessed, but that is not a good practice, because it's never been the part of instance. It is always be the part of class. So this is the right way to access line number 23. So I will suggest to go with this practice. You see here 5000, 5000, 5000. All the outputs are same. It is just pointing it. And consider that, let me just comment the incorrect ways and then I will show you the next process. So first I printed the value over here, consider, and then after that I changed it. Okay, before printing I just changing this value. var2 equal to 6000, and if I trying to print this, you can see here it's allowed, no problem. But people always get confused with this, because in Java it's allowed, but this is not a right way, because this will make you confused. You see here I just trying to change the value here, var2, which is a static one. So 5000 to 6000. So after that, anywhere it never be the part of object, this static member. So you will, whenever you try to access, you will always get updated copy. Can see here, because basically this is the right way. So right way means like anywhere you change, you will get the updated copy anywhere program. So no problem for it. Okay. So this is something different between instance variable and static variables. So local variables related to methods or any block, we call it block, you don't know. So just imagine that it's, if you created a local variable inside main method, so the scope of that variable is only that one. A static variable you always create in the class, not inside any method. And the scope of that static variable is, if it is public, you can make it available throughout the project via public keyword, and then you can access it. So class name dot static member name, this is the right syntax to call it. Instance variable, first you create the object, and then object dot the reference variable what we have created, that variable you can access, like this here you can see. So name, if I want to access, so obj1 I have created, and then obj1 dot name I am trying to access, which is allowed. And there is one other way. In Java we have called concept of anonymous object. So if you have just one line of printing, so you can go with this concept, which I am just going to show you. Instead of creating the object, you can just ignore the left part and just go with the right part. So this is right section. This is called anonymous object in Java. And once you created the object, so what you have to do, you just put after parenthesis, just put a dot. So you will see here that all the same things will be available. So you can access it like that. So this is called anonymous object. I am just writing here. It is only used for one line of code. Suppose that you have one creation of object need, but you never want to use it again and again, just one line. So then in that case you can go with this concept. Anonymous object. Anonymous means which is not having any reference name kind of thing. So this is just one line, and after that this object is in the memory, but since you don't have any name for it, so you cannot access it second time. Understand? So see in this program how many times we have used new keyword. 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. So total 4 objects will be created. Run as Java application. You can see here. Earlier I was just creating reference, then via reference I was using. This time I am not creating any reference. I am just directly creating anonymous object and I am accessing it. So if it is clear, then good. Anyone has any doubt, they can ask. If no doubt, then I can proceed further. So variables, 3 type of variable, we have already seen the example. Now we have data type. So 2 type of data are there, like one is primitive and one is non-primitive. So non-primitive is like object type data, like you already know how to create object, user defined data type. And primitive data type is like int. So this is integer. So for this we have int, for float we have float, we have for character we have char, for boolean we have boolean. Okay. So for float you can divide it like this. For integer we have long, short, byte, int. So total 4 to 6 and to 8. There are 8 type of primitive data in Java, and primitive data type always is stored in the stack memory. If it is an object data type, it will acquire heap memory. So just remember this. Mostly we will be using int, double, char and boolean. Just remember this. Other things are there, but use basis you can use it, but mostly people are using either int. Very long calculation is there, so you can go with long. You can use double, you can use char, and you can use boolean. So basically these are the data type, main data type, which is called primitive data type. So in the interview, the interviewer will be asking you, can you tell me the data type in Java? So you can tell, like, out of it, whatever you remember, you just tell it. It's okay. And more topics on data type we have. Just we want to see here. So this is the range. If you try to understand the range, then very good. I will show you that how to understand the data type and its range. So first, you have already seen the data type. So this is either true or false. Boolean is. Char is just one character, which is called like 16 bits. It's 2 byte. It is taking the space in the memory. Boolean just 0 or 1, so it should be okay. Now double. So double range is this much. Couple of things you can test it. Couple of things you cannot test it. Means like it's very hard. Very long range is there. So long range is this one. You can use this. Integer is this one. Minus side this much, plus side this one. So you don't need to remember the range here. Just you have to know that this is the range, and how to use that I'll show you with some example. You see here, I have some program which I will show you data type. Demo of import. You can see here already I taught something in other classes, so we have some examples already. So I'm looking for which example, the data type, right? It means variables. Example of instance for main method demo. I have example test hello world, test case example, task case. No, it is not. Relational operators, no need. Invoice, no need. Example of instance variable, I already showed you. So I'm not getting here examples. Let me explain, go through other pages maybe where it is already there. So I'm expanding this. Day 2, I think here I can get it. Parameterization, primitive data type, you see here. So this is one example I can show you. Let me copy this. Copy. I'm coming here, daily batch, and just paste here. So I have something which is control plus A. Not there. So let me delete this, right? Outside package demo. This is also not needed here. Yeah, now I have everything ready. I can show you this. So primitive data type. So you go there and try to understand the range. So for byte we have minus 128 to plus 127. So I will just comment everything and I will show you only that part which is related to you. So let me comment it one by I. See, initial value I have set is 127, and if you go to the range, you can see here 127 is the maximum range. So if you try to exceed that, it won't be allowed. You will get some compilation error kind of thing, right? So let me run this program. As of now, you can see that it is okay. There is no problem because I am giving the valid data range 127. Now, if I want to make it 128 and try to save it, so I'm getting a compilation error, and if I mouse over, it is saying that you have to typecast it because it's a byte data type and you cannot have range more than 127. So if I am typecasting it like this, so what it will do, 128 is out of range, so it will jump to the negative part and then it will start that value printing here. So run as Java application. You can see here it is now jumped to the left part. So it's a circular path kind of thing if you try to understand. Let me close this part, don't save. So you go there, you see here circular path it is trying to follow. So 127, I added 128, I wrote 128 means one more. So what it does, it came here negative side. So same like if you keep on increasing, you will keep going like left side. So again I am taking 129 over here. And if I run this program, you can see that to left side it will be taking. Output is minus 128. So same like if you took here 130, because it is out of range, so I'm just saving it and running it. You can see here again it is jumping to the left side. So minus 128, then minus 127, then minus 126, like this it will be keep on rotating. So this was something right side section. Let me go with the left side section. So valid range is 128. So I am taking like minus 128. Let me remove this part, typecasting, because this is a valid data. I don't have any issue for that. So there is no problem. It is as per the rules. So it is giving the expected output. But what if I try to go left side? Now this is out of range, right? So I just mouse over, it will ask me to typecast. So this is something typecasting rules. I am forcefully typecasting it to make it, I'm telling the compiler to make it byte data. So based on the value, the byte data, it will jump to the positive side. This side, I just go one left now, it's like maximum of left. I try to go downside, right? So now it will go to the right side and it will start from the circular path. So basically it started circular path. So let me run this program. You can see here it is coming as a plus 127. So same like that, if you want to increase and you test, you can test it. So now it is coming 126. So should be okay. Means based on the correct value, you can change it. So I'm just putting the correct value. If I am putting correct value, I don't need this. Even this is there is no problem. I just run it. So it is coming 120 minus 128. So that should be okay. So now I'm taking like different data types, short. Okay. One by one I will take. So it is saying that plus side 32 767, minus side range is 32,768. So since it is a valid data, no problem, but let me increase it. You see here it is coming to the circular path. So same like, since you have already understood this one, this is a piece of cake. Now coming to the integer part. So go there and check the range of the integer int. So it is saying that 2147483647, that is 32 bits data it is supporting. So I'm going with the same value. You see here, if I am running this program, I don't have any issue. But if I increase the value by 1, just check whether it is allowed or not. So if I typecast it, it's saying it out of range. Typecasting also it won't work. Six, 4, 7. And minus side also we have some, just minus side negative number 8. So if I put minus, so it is a valid range, and if I run this program I will get the output. And this is long data type. The way of writing is, keyword you have to use long. There I was using short, there I was using byte data. And this is the range. So I have just given a random value and just trying to check whether it is allowed or not. For a long value you can use it. So I am getting the output here. This is double. So double is for decimal purpose. So you can use it like that. So there also range is there, and you can go and check. You see here I am getting the output. First you have to write like this, the data type, the variable name and the value, and then try to print it. System.out.println. This is float. The way of writing is bit different for float and long. So see here I have to add L. So now the compiler will consider it is a long data type. If it is a float data type, so you have to use a small f. So it's also a decimal purpose. This is also a decimal purpose. So normally people will always go for double because it has a wide range of data supported. You see here. So I'm getting the output. Double also I'm getting. Now this is character 1. So any character on the keyboard which is visible, you can use that character. Say that I'm typing capital A. So running here, I'm getting A. So whatever the character. So the way of writing is char and the variable name, the value. And now we have boolean. So boolean is just a true false. So whatever value I have given, it will accept here. True or false. Only two values are allowed for boolean data type. And this is something object, non-primitive data type. So leave it like that because this example was for primitive data type. And if you want to go with the non-primitive data type, means object data type, so I can show you some of the examples. You can see here it's a string name I have given as a computer, and then I'm trying to print it. So basically what it does, it is a non-primitive data type. So how you will make a difference? Very simple. On the boolean color, you see here the color is different, right? And the object data type is color is different. So this is something different. It is not matching. Second difference is that once you put the control and click, it will take you to somewhere, right? It is taking you the actual definition of that object. And and this is never trying, when you try to control and click, nothing will happen. So this is a keyword, okay, and this is something object. So object things will be taken here like that, so you can access as per your need. So this is one example where you can define the string data type and then you can print it. So this is one thing. Now talking about array, you see here string arrays. So how to design one array in Java? So let me take one example here to show you. Array is a collection of like similar data type, right? So what we have to do, we have to put the value 10, 20, something like anyways, integer value I am taking. So I am putting here, and it's a group here. So you put it in the blocks. So basically this is called a curly bracket blocks. So I put it there, then semicolon is there. So right side is there, and left side I am just giving the name of the array. So array is a collection of similar data type. Means you cannot put one value integer, one value as a character, something like that, it is not allowed. So everything should be of the same data type, and the size of this is fixed. It means this size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at the time of creation, whatever the value you have given, based on that, it will acquire a memory location size of 5. And to access the memory location, suppose that you want to print the third location value, fourth location value, fifth location value. So you have to use via indexing, and indexing will start from 0. So say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 0 to 4 will be the index of that. And the syntax is like this. You can either like this or you can either like this. So both are same because it will just consider it's an array. And now if I want to print the first one, so I will use the data type name and then big bracket the index. So index is 0. If I want to access the last one, so last index is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is not a valid index number, it will be 0 to 4. So you put here 0 to 4 and then it runs. You can see your output, right? So this is all about data type and range here. Primitive data type I have shown, and some non-primitive data type also I have shown. So you have any doubt, you can discuss as well. If you don't have any doubt, then should be okay. Then we will meet up in the next class for next topic. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can discuss. I'm coming back to the session part. Who has joined? Amit, Molay, and Vipra. 3 people are there. Molay, you were not yesterday, right?
I was also not there yesterday.
Okay, the recordings are there. You will get the recording, don't worry. So this is just fourth class, you can say. 2 class were for like setup things, and yesterday only we have started our class. So some environment setups needed. So those also we have covered in 2 classes. That for SDET program, what are the things needed? We have gone through those processes. So if you have doubt, you can reach me out anytime. Even you can ping in the WhatsApp group as well, and you can refer anyone who are interested for this course. Okay. So thanks all for joining today's session. We will meet up in the same time tomorrow. If you have any doubt, you can reach me out in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Thank you. Thanks all for joining.